very good afternoon and welcome to this edition of US 101's Visual Radio. Bringing you the news, I'm Hashni Patrana. Before we take a look at your news in detail, let's take a look at your headlines first.
News First headline.
IMF to assess progress following presidential elections. SLTB allocates 1,360 buses for presidential election duties. In your international headlines, exclusively, US keeps missile system in Philippines as China tensions rise. And in your sports, Lance Morris and Jai Richardson set for domestic returns with WA. And on to your top story this evening. The International Monetary Fund has announced that the progress on key commitments under the IMF-supported program will be formally evaluated during the third review of the extended fund facility. An IMF spokesperson said, quote-unquote, progress in meeting key commitments under the IMF-supported program will be formally assessed in the context of the third review of the EFF. The timing of the third review will be discussed with the government after the recently announced presidential elections. The IMF and the government will coordinate on the scheduling of the review post-elections. In more local news, the Sri Lanka Transport Board, or the SLTB, has announced the allocation of 1,360 buses for election duties in connection with this year's presidential election. Now, the Deputy General Manager, Panduka Swarnahansa, confirmed that these buses will be provided based on requests from district election officers. In addition, 175 buses will be allocated for police duties related to the election, ensuring adequate transportation support for law enforcement. To facilitate voter turnout, the SLTB has also initiated additional bus services starting today. These services aim to assist individuals traveling to their home villages to cast their votes. The deployment of buses will be tailored to meet the specific needs of each area, ensuring efficient and effective transportation during the election period. We're still in local news. The Ministry of Education has announced that all schools across the island will be closed on the 20th of September. Regular classes are scheduled to resume on Monday, the 23rd of September. Additionally, schools designated as polling stations are required to be handed over to the respective Gram Nilidari officials on the 19th of September following the conclusion of school hours.
International news.
Now shifting your attention to international news, the United States has no immediate plans to withdraw a mid-range missile system deployed in the Philippines despite Chinese demands, and is testing the feasibility of its use in a regional conflict, sources with knowledge of the matter told foreign media. Now the Typhoon system, which can be equipped with cruise missiles capable of striking Chinese targets, was brought in for joint exercises earlier this year, both countries said at the same time, but has remained there. The Southeast Asian archipelago, Taiwan's neighbor to the south, is an important part of US strategy in Asia and would be an indispensable staging point for the military to aid Taipei in the event of a Chinese attack.
Sports news.
And we're finally taking a look at your sports update. Injury-prone Cricket Australia contracted pace duo of Lance Morris and Jai Richardson are set for domestic white ball returns. Both quicks have been named as Western Australia's 14-man squad for their opening one-day cup matches against New South Wales and South Australia on Sunday and Tuesday, respectively, at Cricket Central in Sydney. Morris has not played cricket at any level since suffering a side strain in February during what was his second ODI, with the injury ending his season. Routine scans during the off-season showed a hot spot in his back despite not feeling any pain. Morris was ruled out of playing in the Major League Cricket and was also not considered for Australia's limited overs tour of the UK. And that brings us to the end of this edition of US 101's Visual Radio. I'm Hashini Patirana. Thank you for watching and stay tuned for more of the very latest.